Yo guys, welcome back. It has been a while, but here we are again with another trick tip video, and today I will be covering a layback. But now today I'm not going to focus on how to do it in a half pipe or a pool or how to do it on a bank. I will today focus on how to do it on flat. Because I have noticed in experience that the version on flat is the hardest one of them all. Main reason because is on a bank and in a pool you have more momentum to come back out of your layback. On flat that's a really different story because there you have to pull yourself back up. So to begin with, what is a layback? If you will search on Google or Bing or whatever search machine you're using, what is a layback, then you will find a lot of times the outcome of a layback in a half pipe, quarter pipe, or in a pool. It's an iconic move that is used there, but I want to talk today and also learn you guys the one that you do on flat, because yes, you can also do this one on flat. And I'm pretty sure if I'm done with explaining how to do this on flat and you also can do that, then it's basically just a little bit of adaptation and you can throw that one also in the pools or at your quarter pipe, at your local park, whatever you have. So why a layback, you would ask? Well, for me personally, a layback is one of the coolest tricks skateboarding can have. Everyone does them a little bit different. The thing what I like the most about it is it shows off personality and style. You can do it either in an aggressive way, you can do it in a more like literally layback way, like very lazy but beautiful, like very steezy, that you make it like look easy. But we all know in the end skateboarding and everything in that is not easy. But so to begin with, there is actually no standard rule that will say if you do this and this and this, you will land your layback instantly. No way that is going to happen. Why? Because everybody skates different and everybody's layback will also look different. It's up to yourself how you will make it look like. For me, I will today explain how I do it and how I think it is the best way, but it can be for you a little bit different. So do not always believe what I say. Also try to experiment a little bit yourself so you can find out for yourself what is the best thing to do. Now when I start, I tend to set up my feet in the concaves of my board. If I go for like a really wild one, and if I'm going to be more like a chill layback with a little bit less power, I put my feet more directly on the bolts. I set up my feet really wide because you need to be able to pull the board back after you've done the slide. So my feet are positioned on the bolts. I start to crouch down and my front hand will be the first one to hit the ground, not my back hand. One of those things is also, you can also do layback just with one hand, but it is really hard and also depends on how you throw it. Like I said, everybody does it differently. That makes it so beautiful also, because a layback is not just a layback, it is how you do it and how you throw it down, it's how you express yourself. So when I go down, I put my front hand on the ground, and then when that happens is I already turn my shoulders a little bit, because the thing is, if you crouch down and you put your hand on the ground but you don't turn your shoulders, your board is just going to go straight and you will just lay dead ass on the ground. So that will not happen. So when you crouch down and you put your hand on the ground, try to already twist your shoulders, because you're going outside. So you're not going inside, because that's a Bertelmann slide or a bird slide. That is not what we want. We want to do a layback, so like the front side version of a bird slide actually. One of the biggest tips is literally already in the name of the trick. You're gonna lay back when you do this. So you put your hand on the ground, you start turning your shoulders, and then you're going to lean back. What is going to happen is your legs and your hips are going to follow, because if you turn your shoulders, your hips are going to follow. With that said, your hips and your legs are going to follow and your board will start to turn. This is where it becomes important that your feet are on the bolts, is because if your feet are like really close to each other, your board will just scoot away out of the turn. So it's really important to really stick your feet on that board. And when you do the turn, so when you are going to lay down and put your arm on the ground, it is really important that your feet are like, it's almost, you have to like almost like push them to the ground. That is because of that your wheels will create friction and that will make the sound. It's like almost like drifting your board. It's like with a car. If a car would take a turn while drifting, but it wouldn't be stick to the ground, it would just roll over or just scoot out. It's the same with your skateboard. You need to keep the pressure on your board when you do that. If you don't do it, you will just scoot out and your board will go away and you will lay there on the ground, probably with a bruise on your hip. It depends also on how dedicated you went into that trick. What we have now is your hand is on the floor, your shoulders are turned, your feet are pressing down on your board. Now it comes to the legs. When you do a layback, when you style them out, it's actually really, really good if you stretch your legs. The further it's stretched, the better. It's the same rule with a lot of street style tricks, is stretch them out. If you stretch them out, the more beautiful they will look. But that doesn't make it more easier, because the more your legs are stretched, the harder it will get to put some pressure on your board. Because the more you stretch your legs, the more your feet will come up. That's why it is important, if you want to stretch them out, to make your feet lean in the direction your board is going. You will see this in the slow motion video, that my feet are actually not flat on the board anymore, but they are angled like you would scoop the ollie. That helps for me. Why? Because if I do that, my front foot can keep on hanging in the pocket and my back foot can also keep some pressure. With the big toe, I also still pressure down. You flatten your leg, the more your actually foot comes up. You can still put your foot like this, but you know, every ankle has its maximum stretch. Because otherwise, if we would be able to put our feet like this, then I think it's time to go to hospital, because then I think something is really wrong. But that's it. So you're already in this turn. It's also very important not to forget to turn your hips. It's also in the hips. If you come back, you will notice that now we already have hand on the ground, turned shoulders, feet on the grip, stretched legs. But now comes the hardest part, is how to come back up. This is all in how you set it up already earlier in that moment. So it will all depend on how you did your turn in the beginning. So now we're already at the point that you did your U-turn and now you're coming back up. So because your feet are on the bolts or in the concaves, it is easier to pull the board actually with you. What I tend to do is if I do a layback, I always put my back hand also on the ground. So it's easier for me, if I do it like that, to push myself up again. The reason why is, if I do it with one arm, it is really hard for me to get up from flat. It's like almost impossible because I don't have that much strength in my arms. Because yeah, look at this. This is not going to do it. This is really not going to do it. Maybe I need to hit the gym or something. That would be an idea, but I'm too late for that. Be in the flow of the motion. If you already stutter with the layback, then it's time to work on that flow. Because the better your flow, the more your body will feel natural to get back up. This is why if you really struggle with getting up, I would recommend to try it on a bank. Not a steep one, but you can try it on that first and then start to understand like, okay, when I come back, I need to do this to get back up. Because on flat, you don't have that momentum that goes back down. On a bank, you have it. So if it really doesn't work, I would suggest to try it on a bank. But then keep in mind, if you do it on flat, your board is not coming to go back at your body. It will just stay there. Because on flat, you need to pull it with your feet and your legs back to you. And once it is close to you, you can get back up. If you do it on a bank, you do the turn, but your board already, because of gravity, rolls back to you, and then you can also stand up. So really important, if you do the layback on flat, you need to pull the board first with your feet back to your body and then stand up. If you will try to stand up, but your board is like miles away from you, that ain't going to happen. One thing I would really give with you guys is start small and then big. Because if I remember my first laybacks, they didn't look like what I am showing right now. It didn't even come close. But just trust the process. Start small. It doesn't care if it's like not tweaked out, if it's like not stretched out, or if it's like just a short turn. I mean, start small. And the more you do it, the better it will get in the end. So don't be afraid if it doesn't work out at first try, because it's skateboarding. It never works like that, unless you're very lucky. But most of the time, these kind of tricks, certainly when you have to add your own style to it, or you're trying to get a certain type of style out of it, it takes some practice. For the one person it may go really fast, and for the other person it will take some more time. But I'm pretty sure you guys have that stuff. I'm pretty sure in that. So I would say go out, try it out, and start sliding. Trust me, once you do it, you will never stop doing it. And without further ado, as usual, if you have questions or something is not working out or your board catched fire, write me in the comments, say, yo, Charlie, help us out, man, it doesn't work. And I will be glad to answer you as fast as possible. And if you have something to add up to this, just also post in the comments, because help each other out, because it only makes the world a better place. Go outside, grab your skateboard, and go skate. See ya later. Whoa, shit. Oh, fuck. I think I broke it.